If you are thinking of getting married, there is a lot to organize and pay for, starting with the ring, the proposal and maybe even an engagement party. All too often, it comes at a hefty cost. But it doesn't have to be this way. Earlier this year I attended the wedding of my dear friend Kavita, who married her partner Gian. We go back many years to our uni days in Melbourne. And, as a way of adding meaning to their big day, they asked many of their friends and family to contribute in some way. I put on my amateur photographer's hat. Another friend made the beautiful wedding cake decorated with fresh produce. For the arrival, Kavita's sister offered her blue Mitsubishi Lancer. A family friend DJ'd free. The wedding rings were an amalgam of her mother's old gold jewelry, melted down in Sri Lanka and brought back for the occasion. We stood in the beating sun under colourful umbrellas. It was a very Australian wedding. In the end, the cost was modest by industry standards. If we had more bridesmaids and groomsmen and had to pay for their outfits, we would be broke, she said. Here is the latest average cost of weddings, based on an annual survey of 3,300 brides and grooms around Australia, asking them how much they spent. Back in 2014, Choice put the average price at up to $54,000. Certified financial planner Tracy Sofra says you might want to consider that the financial decisions you make today will have a huge effect on your life in the future. She says she has seen couples choose a simple wedding and put their money towards a honeymoon or a deposit for a house. You want to know who you are as a couple without trying to please mum and dad. It could be a backyard Barbie, who cares? She says. You don't have to spend a lot of money to have a beautiful wedding, because a wedding at the end of the day is really about the love between two people. All marriages need to be lodged with the Registry of Births, Deaths and Marriages in your state or territory. In legal terms, you'll need an authorized celebrant, a ceremony and the paperwork, such as the notice of intention and the marriage certificate. A registry wedding ticks these boxes, but the costs vary from state to state. In some parts, they don't offer them. Registry weddings are intimate and cover only a small number of guests. They don't include the reception, but, under Australian law, you will be married. I asked registries around Australia for a national breakdown of starting prices from highest to lowest. If you don't want a registry wedding, you'll have to find your own celebrant. There are no set fees for celebrants, but the annual survey says it's about $711. The president of Australian Marriage Celebrants, Anne Ali, put the price between $600 and $1,500. This is for quality celebrants. Some are even higher, she says. Prices will vary depending on complexity of the design, the number of tiers and again the number of guests you need to feed. One baker was selling multi-tiered wedding cakes for up to $648. I did the maths and found it was cheaper to buy a couple of single-tier cakes from the same baker, saving $128. The more tiers, the higher the overall price.